All right, come on in. We are live with a special edition of Epic Live today. If you guys come on in, I hope you had a chance to grab your lunch, some cappuccino, sandwich, something from Starbucks, somewhere. I hope you had a chance. Come on in. Hey, Dr. Mila. Hey, Alan. Hey, Tomanika, how are you guys doing? Come on in. Come on in. I am so excited about today's Epic Live. Our special guest is Sassy Jones. So you guys come on in. Come on in. I see you, Sassy. I see you there. If you guys can do me a favor, if you guys can please share. I want you guys to go ahead and please. Hey, Dr. Mila, share this to as many groups as possible. I am going to share this to some of the different groups that I'm a part of now. Hey, Tomanika, I know this is going to be a special one for you because I know you're directly in line with what Sassy is doing now with her business. And this will be a great opportunity for you to learn some new things, new techniques, because I see your business just growing. So you guys do me a favor, do share. I am out here trying to get this over to as many groups as I possibly can. Share this over. Hey, Adrian, how are you? You guys, Terrence, come on in. I hope you guys got your lunch because today is going to be a doozy. You're not going to want to get up and go anywhere because you're going to learn a lot. As you guys know, the EPI conference is scheduled to take place at the end of October. We are less than 30 days away. Less than 30 days away. So now it's go time. And as you guys know, it's October 25th through the 27th. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, we have a phenomenal lineup. We have Dr. Jamal Bryant. We have Dr. Mila Bennett, Dr. Avis Jones-DeWeaver, Coach Stormy Wellington, and our special guest today, which is Sassy Jones. And then we have a few other speakers that will be there as well. But these are some of our keynotes that will be teaching some of the master courses and master classes that we would have that weekend. It's a full weekend full of knowledge, full of networking, full of fun. It will be unlike any other conference that you've ever attended. And when I say ever, I mean ever attended. The link to the website is found here. I am going to introduce you to you guys today, Sassy Jones. For those who don't know who she is, you're going to be open for a big treat today. And for those who do know who she is, I'm hoping that you guys will grab your tickets and join us at the end of October for the EPI conference. Let me try to grab her and bring her in. Let's see. Hey, Michael. How are you? Hey. Yay! It worked. Okay. You have your earbuds. Try to put your earbuds in. I can't hear you. You may need your earbuds. Let's see. I can see you, but we need your earbuds. Okay, so we may have had a little bit of technical issues there. Can you guys hear me? Somebody say yes if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me fine? The topic, Karen, I will tell you. Okay, can you guys hear me? Yes, you can hear me. All right, great. I'm glad to invite Sassy to join back in. The topic today is all about the EPI conference, and I want to make sure everyone understands how Sassy was able to get to where she was able to accomplish a seven-figure earning business in less than seven months. Let me try to bring her back in. Let's see. As you guys know, technology can be iffy, especially Facebook Lives. So we are trying again. Hopefully we won't have, it says somebody needs to mute their phone. I know, but it's going to be difficult for me to mute it and so that we can talk. But you know how Facebook Lives can be. Let's see if this will work. Let me try again. Okay, so she said, wait 1 second. They're going to get their earplugs. So while she's getting all that together, for y'all, the folks that are joining, let me just remind you guys of why we're having the session today. For those who don't know, Sassy Jones will be in Atlanta, Georgia, the last weekend of October. She will be here at the EPI conference, and she's going to be one of our masterclass instructors. She's going to teach us all the secrets of how she was able to build a seven-figure business in less than 7 months. For those who don't know, Sassy has products now in Macy's and on HSN. She has a storefront and a warehouse, and she did this pretty quickly and very concise. From watching her and studying her, she had a very strategic plan on getting to where she is. And so she's going to teach us some of those techniques at the EPI conference at the end of October. Hey, Lisa, how are you? So we are going to talk to her a little bit about some of the things that she was able to accomplish. For those who need the link to attend the EPI conference, it is www.theepiconference.com. I am looking to see if they're ready. Sassy will be our keynote speaker for Sunday. So I am so excited and looking forward to it. On Saturday, we have some other great speakers that will be there. We have Coach Stormy Wellington. We have Dr. Jamal Bryant. We have Dr. Mila Bennett. We have attorney Lorraine Funderburg, attorney Marissa Grayson, myself. We'll all be speaking on Saturday, and some of us will be also speaking on Sunday. On Sunday, the primary masters for that day will be Sassy and Dr. Mila. So both days are full with great content and great teachers and leaders. And so I'm looking forward to being able to share that with you guys at the end of October. Let me see if she's able to join back in yet. Let's see. Let's see. As you guys know, you tend to have a few issues sometimes with technology. But while we're waiting for her to join and join back, do anyone have any questions at all about the EPI conference, the purpose? Again, it is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. It is going to be a conference like you've never attended before, because it's not going to be a situation of someone up front talking at you and talking to you. It is going to be more of a learning and teaching environment, whereas you come in with real questions and real issues, and your master has to come in and help resolve and solve those issues for you. So it's not going to be a lot of fluff and a lot of hot air. It's going to be real live solutions. You should leave the EPI conference with a whole new outlook on your business issues or business challenges. Let me try to see where they are so that we can get ready to get the show on the road. Let's see, guys. Let me check. You guys know Facebook and technology can be tricky. So we're trying to make this all work for you guys. I can't wait till when Facebook gets all of this stuff together and we no longer have so many. Okay, it looks like she's back in. Let me try to join her. So when Facebook gets all this stuff together, I think that they can then start charging for usage. I don't know. I'm just joking. But okay, so it looks like Facebook is still giving us a little bit of issues here. Hey, Lady Veronica, I hope to see you at the EPI conference at the end of October. For those who don't know, we do have a special that's going on today. If you enter in the word SASSY, SASSY, when purchasing your tickets, you will get 20% off on your EPI conference ticket. So use Sassy's name and code and save 20% on your overall ticket. I mean, if you want to bring a friend, we have a special surge special. Okay, looks like we may be getting, hey, yes. I think we were able, hey. So,
Hi, yeah.
oh, that is perfect. Perfect, perfect,
Is
perfect.
it?
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
I'm so glad we were able to get you on.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you. And I want to thank those who stayed on and were patient with us until we can get work through the technology. As I was explaining to them, Sassy, I know you're pretty familiar with this, that technology can be very, very, very tricky.
It can be your best friend or your worst
It
enemy.
can be.
Just got to get on the good
You have
side.
to embrace it. You can't run from it. And that's one of the things that I will say that you did a very good job of, is embracing technology to grow your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
so before we get into that, Sassy, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are? Not where you are today, but just a little bit about who you
Yeah.
are and where you're from.
Sure. Well, I'm Charis Jones. I am the owner of Sassy Jones, but before any of that, I am a wife of 9 years. This will be 9 years coming up October 30th. I am a mother.
Congratulations.
Unbeknownst to most, I'm a mother of twin boys. They are 4 years old and they are my everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were born, I decided to jumpstart my business, which, if you have the chance, because a lot of people like use children as an excuse,
Mm-hmm.
to not do, like, I don't have the time, I can't. Girl, it was my legit motivation. It was my jet fuel. And so when they were first born, and I am also the owner of Sassy
Mm-hmm.
Jones, and we are an award-winning accessory brand. We sell confidence, actually, not accessories. Accessories are just the byproduct. And we are majority a e-commerce brand. About 95% of our revenue comes from e-commerce. We also do have a brick and mortar here in Richmond, Virginia. So that is the gist of who I
You know
am.
what's
I'm also really crazy. And
and beautiful to say the
thank
least.
you.
You know,
Very
you
spontaneous,
know
yeah.
what is amazing is that you shared the fact that you're a mother, and most people don't
Yeah.
realize that I'm a mother and I'm a wife as well. They just see the side of business and work and work and business,
Mhm.
not knowing that there's a whole nother side. There's a whole family side of that, which is also very challenging. I think anybody that would say to
Yeah.
achieve the amount of success that you've achieved and being a wife and a mother is not an easy task at all.
Girl, no. Not
Mm-mm.
no. Not
Mm-mm.
at all. Not in the least.
Mm-mm.
And I think it makes it that much
Mm-hmm.
harder, in terms of reaching your dreams. Like, because when you come home, your husband wants all of you,
Mm-hmm.
not just the remnants that are left from the workday.
Mm-hmm.
Your children deserve all of
Mm-hmm.
you. And what you're doing, definitely, it should be your motivation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Not your reason why not to. It should be your reason
But
why. But
the
yeah, it's
reality is
difficult.
there is a time when you're building where you can't give them all of you. 24/7 is about
No.
building a business. And it's
Mhm.
very different. We're going to talk a little bit about that at the EPI conference too. Some of the struggles that successful women have in their personal lives, because the
Mhm.
reality of you can have it all, work-life balance, da 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 da, that is just not realistic. It's not real.
No.
And everybody would
No.
have to have their own prescribed method. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. But I thought it was interesting that you said that, because I had a conversation with someone on yesterday, and they said, wait a minute, you have kids? Because I said something about going in to get some food for my kids, and they were like, you have kids? I'm like, yeah, I do. I have a
Yeah.
16-year-old and an 11-year-old. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I have
Mhm.
a whole nother life besides EPI Media Group and EPI Conference, etc. But so, Charis, as you mentioned, your children fuel the fire for you, right? And that,
Yeah.
when I had
Yeah.
my second child, which is my daughter, and when I had her, it was something that told me at that moment that there's something more out there. I'm not going to be able to be the best mother staying in this current situation that I was in corporate America. Something clicked,
Preach.
and I needed to do something different. I wanted to live out my purpose and my dream. What actually happened with you? What was that driving point for you?
Well, I actually started the business before I had kids. It was just in a very small way. I
Mm-hmm.
started the website. I wasn't making any money. I was making like $25 a day. And I'm like, girl, I can't leave my job off of $25 a day. So I started to do these trade shows. And that's where I learned more about my customer base, deepening the relationship with my avatar. And I learned that the brand is not just a brand, we are a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And that one on one engagement with the customer, the trade shows is where I learned that. So I thought, how I could leave my corporate job was by booking myself solid for a year, doing these trade shows 3 times per month,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then so this looked like Florida, Philadelphia, New York, all over the world. And it just sounded so great, so grand. This was my exit
Mm-hmm.
strategy. However, I got pregnant and I almost gave up on the dream. And something in me was just like, you know what? I want the children to be able to have a different kind of life. If something happens at school, I don't want to have to ask a manager to leave work. I want to be able to show them choices of mommy and daddy, now daddy, working hard and creating their own way. That was really important for me to show
Mm-hmm.
them. And so it took a lot of sacrifice. You were touching on the whole personal bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the boys were first born, they were 4 months and we were in Florida doing a show. And my first year of motherhood, their first year of life, I was on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine
Mm-hmm.
that? Can you
Mm-hmm. Believe
imagine
me, I
that?
can.
Motherhood is insane, especially
Mm-hmm.
doing it both at the same time. But I wanted it that bad. And so that was the fuel for me. Like, okay, girl, you done left your job. You need to try to figure this out,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You out here, and to me, going back to work felt like failure.
Mm-hmm.
So I used the children as my motivation to push past everything that was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, when I think about going back to a 9 to 5, it makes me feel as if I'm in a box or in a shell, and I started to feel
Yeah.
claustrophobic with that, especially because
Hmm.
of the freedoms around that. But when did you know, Charis, that booking yourself solid for trade shows wasn't the answer, and that e-commerce was the way to go? What was that?
Girl, well, it was my one last straw. I had probably done my 37th show that year in 2016, and I had hit a wall. I was driving home from Philadelphia alone. Most of these events I did alone with my minivan.
Mm-hmm,
And I was just so sick of leaving my family. I was emotionally spent. I was like mentally fatigued. I was physically fatigued.
mm-hmm,
And I just felt like there had to be another
mm-hmm,
way. Like, it's so much more attractive to go back to my job. At that point, this was my mindset, because I can have my sanity. Like
mm-hmm,
I can have a predictable
mm-hmm.
paycheck. I don't have to worry about driving to these places, setting up things, dealing with customers not wanting to buy or wanting to buy. But it was at the end of that year that I was like, I've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either going to figure out how to work my business in a much smarter way. And thankfully I did. Thankfully I did not give up. And thankfully I pivoted.
And you know the thing that's so amazing in what you talked about. So this is the part that most people don't get. They assume that when they start their business or open their company, that they're automatically an entrepreneur. The answer to that is no. You are a business owner. You basically just own a job until you
Yeah.
figure out how to work smart so that you're not necessarily a slave to your business, and
Hmm.
your productivity is not dependent on making money. You are still working a job. You're working a job that you happen
Yeah.
to own. And most people still don't get that. So that's why you find so
No.
many entrepreneurs still struggling and still suffering with depression, with
Yeah.
a lot of emotional and mental situations, because they haven't truly gotten to the other side of understanding how to make these things work for them, right? So
Absolutely.
what
Yeah.
was the pivotal point for you? Because it seems like things happen so fast for you. I met you maybe about a year and a half or so ago with Dr. Myla at an event Dr.
Hmm.
Avis was having. And I remember
Yeah.
you were talking about your business then, and I remember saying, "Oh, she is fly," but you weren't
Oh, thank
you weren't
you.
Sassy Jones that we see today. But it seems like
No.
we flew back to Atlanta. I was with Dr. Myla. We flew back to Atlanta. I looked up and I saw an article. I think it was in Black Enterprise that talked about this young woman who created a QVC type environment out of her own
Hmm.
home with her accessories, and how she was the one to watch. And then it really caught my attention because you were from Virginia and I'm from Virginia. I actually went to undergrad in Richmond at Virginia Commonwealth University. Yeah, I
Oh,
went to undergrad there. So it really caught my attention. I'm like, wow. Because everyone knows that, that's from Virginia. I'm always super hard on Virginia folks. Like, okay, what's going on there? Nah, nah, nah. And then I'm like, yeah, she's from Virginia and she's doing this.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. What clicked in your mind to say, maybe let me turn this into an online QVC, because it looked as if that was a full-time job in itself, creating that QVC type of environment.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it definitely was a full-time job
Mm-hmm.
in and of itself. Like in the early days, I would always consume content. I never wanted to invest in coaching or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on Periscope. And some of y'all might still watch Periscope, but I was on Periscope and I was watching a woman by the name of Adia.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about how you can create an HSN like experience for your brand. So I thought about it. I was mulling this thing over and I was like, hmm. And it actually, the name came to me in a dream at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and jotted it down. I was like, we're going to call it the Sparkle Party. So that those very same shelves that I used on the road while I was doing all of that manual labor, I set them up in my kitchen. And I didn't have enough money to like have a whole production set or even a ring light. So I took a clamp light, a floodlight that had a clamp at the bottom from Lowe's, clamped it to the back of a like a dining room
Mm-hmm.
chair, and then I took two diaper boxes and used those as my stabilizer to lean my cell phone on and just hit live.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't worry about the things that I did not have. I knew I had inventory and I knew I had one heck of a personality. And I had made the decision to stop being behind the brand, and I decided to step in front of the
Mm-hmm.
brand. And that made all the difference in the world. Now, that was 3 years ago. Since then, we have evolved the Sparkle Party. Since then, the Sparkle Party has moved from my home to my first location outside the home, a 600 square foot studio, to our retail store, to now our warehouse. But it has evolved. But you have to continue to do that in your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Figure things out, figure out what the trends are, and evolve. And when I went live the first time, girl, you couldn't tell me nothing. I made $600, $600 at first live
Mm-hmm.
from like going live for an
Mm-hmm.
hour. I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to do more of this. And so every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we just went live,
Mm-hmm.
and now that same activity grosses us upwards of $20,000 for 1 hour of work.
Mm.
So it's all about consistency.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest revenue generator in our business.
And so one of the things that you said earlier that I don't know if everyone caught, but I hope you guys are taking notes. And if you guys are coming to the EPI conference at the end of this month, October 25th, you definitely need to take notes. One of the things that Charis stated earlier is that her business is not about accessories. Her business is about building confidence. It's very similar
Yeah.
to the business model that McDonald's has. It's not about hamburgers. It's about real estate, right? So
Hmm.
the real
Hmm.
question that you have to ask yourself as an entrepreneur is really, what is it that your business is trying to do? It may not
Hmm.
necessarily be what people initially think. You may be selling t-shirts,
Yes.
but the reality of it is you're really teaching people something through the sale of those
Hmm.
t-shirts. So
Hmm.
Charis, when did you determine that your true product for sale was confidence?
Probably my first trade show, because that trade show that I talked about, I learned that it was a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
How that happened was interactions with women. They were saying all these self-defeating messages
Mm-hmm.
like out
Mm-hmm.
loud. So I would try a necklace on. I'm like, oh, I think you look pretty in this. Oh, I don't think I'm confident enough to be able to pull a necklace like that off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm pretty enough to wear a necklace that's sparkly
Mm-hmm.
so close to my face. I heard all of that, all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so styling them in a different way, I became addicted to that light.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I knew that I was selling something a little bit more than just a necklace and a pair of earrings. I was selling a moment, a mood,
Mm-hmm.
an experience. And so we have developed it.
Mm-hmm. You were selling it, and
Go
that
ahead.
was your product. And that's what a lot of entrepreneurs struggle at. Not really
Hmm.
understanding what it is that they're truly selling. Therefore, they will expand their brand with a lot of things that don't make sense and that don't speak to
No.
their target audience or their customer base. And they're confused as to
Yeah.
why it didn't go over well. Right?
Hmm. Exactly. Or they won't give it a long enough shot. They won't put all of the work into it.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea how many people ask me to sell clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm like, sure, I could sell clothes, but I sell accessories for a very specific reason. I do feel that accessories are the finishing touch, they are the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I could do that, but this is my lane and I want to stay in it. Now, I could expand, but my choice is to deepen where I already
Mm-hmm.
am. But you have to have a unique selling
Mm-hmm.
proposition. And that's exactly what confidence is for me. And you have to also have an impact.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just selling products without an impact, people aren't going to remember
That's
you.
right.
You're not going to be able to stay top of mind when it's time for that person to make their next purchasing decision.
Because
so make sure in all that you do, you're doing that.
Because the reality of it is, a person could go to TJ Maxx or somewhere and buy accessories, but they want to buy right. They want Sassy Jones boutique, yes, right?
Because it comes with the feeling, right, and I've taught them how to wear the thing, whereas TJ Maxx is not. Right. And so it's also a relationship because of how we speak to our customers, how we speak to our potential customers. Everything from all of our touch points, like our product descriptions, to girlfriend, your stuff is on the way, to the videos that we do, to our daily teachables, to our IGTV. And now it not just being me, you identify with someone else in the brand, our staff. So we're all in front of the brand.
It's the authenticity of who Charis is. And people love getting to know you and having a piece of you. So that is the part that we have to realize as business owners. I was having a conversation, I believe it was with Dr. Mila, maybe a couple of weeks or so. I love Dr. Mila too. You know, she's been a client of mine for over 3 years, but she's one of my dearest friends as well, and also one of the speakers at this year's conference. But she and I were talking about the fact of influencers, social media influencers, and I also saw a couple of other folks talking about this online the other day. What people are now realizing is that you are the best face of your brand. When people are spending all this money hiring all these celebrities and Instagram models to promote their product, when really people want to see you, right? Yes. They want a piece of you.
Girl, Holiness Tabernacle. Yes, been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the sparkling letters on the front. I have spent so much money. Actually, when I started, I was doing what everyone else did, like sending stuff to the Instagram girls and the makeup girls and try to get on that way, because I was doing what everyone else, what I thought was right. And it wasn't. And it was not until I started to live stream and started to get to know my customer and allow them to get to know me that it took off. And in order to do that, you don't necessarily have to be the face of the brand. You could have a model, but for darn sure, you better be nurturing your customers yourself personally. That is what makes the difference in relationship marketing.
Yeah, you got to know your customer. You got to know your customer, because your brand is all that you have, right? And when you become like everyone else, then you become generic and people just begin to lose interest in what you have. People look forward to seeing. When I scroll through and I see Sassy, you have this big, beautiful smile. I know it's going to be something bright on. You have your natural cut that I'm used to seeing. I love looking at you. And that's the other piece that people have to realize, that appearance is very important when promoting your business from a social media perspective. You want to talk a little bit about, I mean, it's a tough topic.
I'd love to.
But
no, I'd love to. Yeah, let's have all the conversations, Ebony. So here's the thing. Even when you meet someone in the street and you tell them what you do for a living and they look at you, it needs to resonate. It needs to make sense. If I'm in the grocery store and I tell someone that I own an accessory brand, they better look at me and be like, you know what you do, right? How it's the equivalent of, like, because we know nail techs and hairstylists, they run around, all of them don't always have their hair done, you know what I mean? But you've got to be your own brand, and that in person, but it pictures that don't make easily.
I think it's kind of sticking. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, let's see, because I know what you just said was, it's kind of sticking a little bit, guys. I know what she just said. Hold on. Am I still sticking on your side, Charis?
No, it's not sticking on my side. I can hear you. I just can't see you. It's kind of like that slow motion thing going on.
Yeah, is it still doing that a little bit? Because yours now it's stopping. It's allowing me to see you move a little bit.
Okay. How about we restart? How about I'll X out and then you invite me back? We'll see if that helps.
Okay, so go ahead and close out, and then I'll add you back in. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, guys. Just 1 second, guys. We're going to close her out and bring her back in because one of the key points that Charis was making was the authenticity of your brand. It's so important that when you create a brand and you create a look and an image, that it's consistent. Let's see if we're able to get her back because she was just dropping some nuggets right there. And I'm like, this Facebook is driving me crazy. One thing I will tell you is that Facebook is being consistent with their brand. And okay. All right, so let's see. She should be joining back in just a second. But it is so important. One of the things that Charis just shared with us is that your appearance is key. No one said that you had to be a size 2. No one said you had to be 6 feet. What she's saying is you have to represent the brand in which you are selling because people buy because of what they see you with. Let me try to bring her back on. It's going to take a little second. And so that's important. A lot of times that's the most difficult conversation to have. As a publicist and one that works with clients' images, I have the most difficult conversations in regards to that because many times people don't want to hear that they don't exude the image in which they're trying to sell. Okay, let's see. We are waiting to see if hers comes back on. It's a little sticky. Anybody have any questions so far that we can answer? Remember, the conference is at the end of October. If you guys are intrigued by this conversation, let me tell you something. You are going to have a ball at the conference at the end of October. It's October 25th through the 27th in Atlanta, Georgia. You can purchase tickets to attend at www.theepiconference.com. You will have a wonderful lineup of speakers like Charis Jones. You're also going to have Gerard Smith. You're going to have Dr. Mila Bennett, Dr. Jamal Bryant, Coach Stormy. The list goes on. Dr. Avis Jones DeWeaver, attorney Marissa Grayson, attorney Lorraine Funderburg. We are going to, Dr. Mimi, we're going to get really, really deep that weekend. There is no questions that are going to be off limits. We're talking about the struggles of being a parent and work-life balance. We're going to talk about financial and capital and the truth about starting a business. We're going to talk about work-life balance. We're going to talk about social media engagement, how to grow a real brand. Okay, looks like Sassy may be back. Let me see if I can add her in. Oh, it's still giving me some issues about adding her. We're going to talk about how to trust yourself as an entrepreneur. We have Dr. Jamal Bryant. He's going to bring the message about trusting your own self when you are an entrepreneur. Most of us are first generation entrepreneurs, so we don't have a family member that we can lean on that can help guide us and direct us when we are moving down this path. And so a lot of the things that we do require mentorship from outside people, outside friends, and really trusting your gut. And sometimes that's all you have is yourself and your gut. And we're going to talk about how you do that. Let me see if, okay, let me try to bring Sassy back in. Yeah, you guys know social media, social media, social media. Let's see. Okay, looks like we're bringing her back. Oh, no. Okay, good. Okay. Are you there, Charis? Yes, yes.
Can you?
Okay, so
Yeah.
it seems like
Yes.
you were dropping some major nuggets on us about being consistent with your brand, right? Can you repeat a few of
Yeah.
those things?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they may have missed that.
Absolutely. So we were talking about the difference of being the
Mm-hmm.
face of your brand, right? So I was saying that it doesn't necessarily have to be you that's the face of your brand, but it does have to be you or your ideas that are nurturing your customer. When I made the decision to come from behind the brand and step in front of it, that made all the
Mm-hmm.
difference in the world because in the beginning, I was using, we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about influencers. I had honey, I had celebrities, paid celebrities, to come to the Sparkle Party. And would you know that they did not convert? Like, nowhere near as me being able to keep the main thing. The main thing. Yes. And yes, they took thousands of dollars of my money. They did. And I thought that they would bring a new audience. I thought that they would bring their following. I thought all of these things. But none of these people that you were paying have the passion about your brand like you do. You were the most qualified person to sell it.
And guess what? The consumers are smart. Consumers know when a person is being paid for a testimonial and sold something. No one wants to feel as if they're being sold to. You lose that.
Nope. They want to feel, they want to be courted, like a dating. Like if you meet a guy and y'all are dating and you're building a relationship, right? Getting a customer, attracting a customer is the exact same thing. You know, you're flirting, then maybe you go on a date and all of a sudden you have a commitment. And you don't want the sale just for the day. You want the marriage with the customer, right? And I believe that's what Sassy Jones does so well, more so than any other brand in our industry. We have a relationship that's so deep with our customers because of the nurturing investment that we've made.
And you've done so well so fast because you're going to be talking about the roadmap that you actually took to get there, but you actually turned your business into a six-figure business in less than 7 months.
Actually, a seven-figure business in less than 7. Yeah. And that was from the help of Sparkle Party. So my goal for 2018 was just to hit $1 million. You know, if I could hit 1 million, I thought I was doing big stuff, you know? And so we were gunning, and I was gunning so hard I wasn't even paying attention to the progress. And it came a day on July 11th, I believe, where we were like maybe 15K away. And I was like, it could be today. I just never know. And it was also a Sparkle Party day. I gave my all on that Sparkle Party. And that day, 7 months into the year, is when we struck $1 million in revenue. And it happened exactly at midnight. We needed an order for $24. And would you know, an order for exactly $27.72 came in at midnight. And the order number was the zip code of where I grew up in Portsmouth, Virginia.
So you're a Tidewater girl. I'm from Hampton. I'm from Hampton.
Ebony. Girl, we own property on Magruder. I went to Hampton University. I ain't graduated though, but I attended.
So you probably are familiar with like Shell Road and all of that. And girl,
girl, I got friends. Mama still
I try to tell
Road.
Dr. Miley about Shell Road, but she ain't trying to hear about it, Sassy. She's not trying to hear about it. But yeah, so that's amazing. It's amazing. So you actually also probably had to shift your mindset, and you believed, because you didn't just get that $27 just out of nowhere, right? It came because you willed it. And we're going to talk about that. People don't realize the power of your mind. Right? Once that mind shifts, it's a whole the game is on. Once that mind shifts, the game is on.
Yes. Because the reality is that no one is going to take you seriously until you do, which also requires a mindset adjustment. The difference between people who are successful and people who still feel stuck is a mindset difference. It's not a resource difference. It's not a difference in you not being able to build an audience. It's not a difference that you can't get the business off the ground. You just don't know what to do. It is a mindset adjustment, because if your mindset was right, you would go out and seek the resources that you needed to be successful. If your mindset was right, you would be lining yourself up for pitch competition so that you can get the funding that you need to get this brand off the ground, right? Listen, girl, don't get me in here preaching today, but it is an entire...
You got two girls. Let me just break this down to people. Everybody wants to have excuses. You got two girls from Tidewater, Virginia. Okay? Portsmouth and Hampton. I don't know what... I'm Shell Road, okay? And bottom line is, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't have a whole lot of examples in my family of how to do this thing, right? But the mindset, I was exposed. I will say this though, it took someone taking me under their wing and taking the time to mold and grow me. And I had to be willing to say, I need to change. Something needs to shift without saying, oh, that person is hating on me. Because, you know, a lot of times We write off when people
Oh,
give us criticism as hate versus looking. It's so
and
sad.
it's
How
so
many of
sad.
us have missed our golden opportunity because we wrote somebody off as hating on me versus saying, you know what, maybe I do need to look at this. Maybe I should consider that.
Hmm.
But the point
Hmm.
of me bringing that up is two girls who came from, modest beginnings, and we were able to do this. And
Hmm.
so my point is, no one has an excuse. No one has an
No,
excuse.
with kids
Yes,
and
with
married.
kids, married, the whole gamut, okay? And like Dr. Malice said, look a
Yes,
pear tree.
yes,
Okay, she's all the whole thing. And so you have to remove the excuses. And some of the speakers that we
yeah,
have at the conference, Sassy, they didn't even finish high school. Coach Stormy Wellington,
yeah.
and she is a multimillionaire, and she's going to, because the real principles to success is not tied to just the degrees. I just read something the other day.
No.
It was from Black America Web or something, and he's a doctor who owns this, and he said that he's trying to teach kids to stop going into debt by going to school and starting a business. I'm not necessarily telling people not to go to higher education, because I have those.
Right.
I have the
Right.
degrees. I have the bachelors. I have the masters. I have the certifications and all that. But what I am saying is that we have to
Yes.
stop using our degrees as crutches and putting ourselves in boxes and
Hmm.
holding us back.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Or feeling
because of them,
entitled
because
because
the
of them.
reality of it is, when you release yourself from that and you are pushed up against the wall with no other way out, that is when you see the shift.
Listen, the
That's
prize goes
it.
to the hardest worker. Whether the hardest worker is the
That's
hardest or the
right.
smartest worker. So whether that is the one who has the doctor or the one who has an eighth
Yep.
grade education. I went to Hampton. I attended Hampton, and I dropped out right in between my sophomore and junior year. I could go back, yes, and I actually do plan on doing it just
Mm-hmm.
because I love challenges, and I will. But
Right,
I've
right.
not needed
Well,
it.
and this is the thing. It's not necessarily needing it. It's just a goal that you may want to have. This is what people have to realize. I remember when I
Yeah.
graduated with my bachelor's degree, Sassy, and I went walking up into the corporate office with my briefcase. And I, went to my supervisor and I wanted to demand a manager's job because, don't you know, I have a bachelor's degree. And they said, honey, look around the room. Everybody in here has one. Then get back over there and put your customer service earplugs in and get to work. So it was like, all right, let's wake up here. We have to stop feeling this entitlement syndrome and realize it's
Yes.
all about the work and it's all about the experience. And
Oh,
so, and I know that we're running
yes.
close on time, but I want to talk real quick about, I just saw recently you have pinned a relationship with HSN and Macy's. That is huge. That's huge.
Yes. Thank you, Ebony. So the goal has always been, remember I told you the Sparkle Party was modeled after HSN. I wanted to create an
Mm-hmm.
HSN-like experience. And so doing this 3 years, I was like, one day I'm going to be on TV selling my own products. That required significant
Mm-hmm.
mindset adjustment that we can
Yep.
talk about at the conference. But in order to get to this place, I had to
Mm-hmm.
believe that I was worth it. And I had to make some adjustments in my business to be able to qualify to
Mm-hmm.
be in
Yep.
these places, right? And so, Market at Macy's happened. That just happened in August. We had an in-store event where I got to do a sparkle party
Wow.
inside of
Amazing.
Macy's, and they came back and were so floored. They had never seen a outpouring of customer support in that way
Wow.
ever for anything, and B, they've never seen a brand be able to sell a product in such an
Mm-hmm.
exciting way. And they actually asked me to come back and
Mm-hmm.
host their fall fashion event, which just happened last
Amazing.
Saturday in
Amazing.
Atlanta. So, so much fun, so much fun. And then, yes, we are presently still in talks with HSN. So I had my second meeting about maybe a month ago now, and I
Mm-hmm.
left it all on the table. Did my best to blow them
Mm-hmm.
away, and I believe I did. So we're just working through the product mix right now, and that will be closing soon. And I will
Yeah,
be sure
let
to
us
let your
know. And
community
then,
know when that
this is
happens.
the thing, Sassy. How long from the beginning to where you are now, when we're talking about 7-figure, well, probably 8 or 9-figure business now, storefront, warehouse, Macy's, visits to Facebook, and now discussions with HSN. How long? What's the period with the time? Because most people think, oh, that must have taken her 10 and 15 years. What's the
No. Let's see. So I started the business in June. My site launched June of 2013, and here we are,
right?
2019.
So it did
So
happen pretty quickly. But
yeah.
the other part is there's no such thing as an overnight sensation. You know how everybody. Oh,
I hate that. I
hate that. People,
despise the
everybody
word. I
thinks, oh, she just came
despise
out of
it.
nowhere, and she did that. There's no such thing as
No.
coming out of nowhere.
And you know what
Mhm.
I love to do? If you pay attention to our brand, we are storytelling all day long in
Mhm.
1,000
Mhm.
different ways, right? We're storytelling on social media, via live, all of that. I love to take
Mhm.
customers back to where it started because all of these new people that are becoming attracted to the brand, they just heard about us. They don't know the story.
They
They
don't
see
know
the
it.
glory, but they don't know the
Mm-mm.
story. They don't know the grind. They don't know the year that I was in the minivan with the
Mhm.
twins, in the back
Mhm.
seat. They don't understand. They don't know how I sold my Mercedes to get my first investment to be
Mhm.
able to buy inventory. They
Mhm.
don't know any of these things. The blood, sweat, and tears. Or how many times I almost wrecked that van driving from Miami back to Virginia,
Mhm. Mhm.
countless times
They
during the
don't
month,
know it.
overnight. No
Mm-mm-mm.
one knows that, and I'm happy to talk about all of the stories, and we'll talk
Yes.
more at the
Yes.
conference.
Yes.
But yes, I am so happy. I'm one of the ones that's so happy to tell
Mhm.
you my how and all of the pains that you can avoid because I've experienced some
And that's one of the
extensive
things I
pain.
will say about social media that I love is because those who've been following me since the very beginning, you saw the very humble beginnings, the humble starts, the excitements
Mm-hmm.
about the new client, and as the client roster began to grow and grow and grow. It's good because social media can also tell other people out there, I can do it too. And so we need to make sure that we're
Yeah.
utilizing all of these tools to the best of our capabilities. We need to be connecting, finding people who are doing what it is that we want to do. Let's stop hating. Let's start loving. Let's start collaborating. Let's start learning because the market is changing.
Yeah.
You know, if people are depending on 9 to 5s and thinking that they're going to graduate and retire from 9 to 5s. It's just we live in a new day. We have new presidents. We have new leadership. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be prepared to be able to
Mm-hmm.
sustain yourself. So you need to be at the
Exactly.
EPI conference. You need to be there. You owe it to yourself to be there, to prepare yourself, to be ready, to stop complaining, stop sitting on the
Mm-hmm.
sideline, stop
Mm-hmm.
saying I wish, I wish, I wish. Let's actually put the ball into the game. Get in the game and stop being a
Yeah.
viewer from the sides. Let's actually get into it. So again, the website for the conference is www.theepiconference.com. Again, the dates are October 25th through the 27th. We have the beautiful Sassy Jones. She will be our keynote speaker for that Sunday. We
Thank
also have
you.
Dr. Mila Bennett, who will also be speaking on that Sunday as well. On Saturday, we have Coach Stormy Wellington. We have Dr. Jamal Bryant. We have Dr. Avis Jones DeWeaver. It is going to be a crazy experience. So if you are complaining and you don't know how, if you're not at the conference, I really don't want to hear it anymore because all of the answers will be in that room. Okay? All of them. So
Yeah.
Sassy, I want to
Yeah.
thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for joining with us today. And I am
Thank you so much for
so
having
excited about
me.
seeing you at the end of October. So excited.
Yes. Yes,
All
yes,
right,
yes. I
guys. Well,
cannot
thank
wait.
you. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.